From Fatherless to Fatherhood, Take 1.
How old were you, Devon, when you lost your father?
I was 9 years old when I lost my father. There were a number of men that really kind of stepped in to fill the gap. My uncle, who was also the pastor of the church that I grew up in, my grandfather, one of his sons, my Uncle Kenny, was a huge impact, And then there was a guy, David Glover, who was a family friend. And then when I was in high school, I ended up having an after-school job at the nonprofit in downtown Oakland that he and my aunt were executive directors of. Those men really had an impact in my life. David was a community leader. He was incredibly well-spoken, articulate, visionary. So I learned a lot of my community, my attachment to the community, my desire to help build the community from him. My uncle, huge impact in my life in terms of from a spiritual standpoint, and also professionally. He would give us his book, Dress for Success, and make sure how you dress is how you want to be perceived. So those are some of the men and some of the examples of how they really filled in the gap. I mean, my mother, she allowed it, you know what I mean? And she was very open that she has 3 boys and, she needed help. And so she would be okay with doing her part. But I think the blessing of what she did was she allowed for the exposure, allowing that relationship to foster and allowing the mentorship to be imparted, was a big part on her end, to have enough faith and to have enough awareness and honesty to say, I know I'm providing a function, but I know I can't fill it all in. So let me, allow my children to be exposed to some other men that I trust. Trust is a big thing. So that to see if they can help, make sure that they grow up in the right way and are able to end up being young, productive, healthy men. In my book, Produced by Faith, there's a chapter about casting your life, the movie of your life. And it's important to have the right cast in order to bring your story, your life to light. And also to make sure that your movie can be a success. And so many times we hang with the wrong people, and the wrong people can take our story, our life, in the wrong way. And so as a high school student, I remember very clearly the circle that I ran in were positive, because I'm like, listen, I know where I'm going. I have goals. I don't want to hang around somebody who isn't serious about their life. I did not want to be around closely, and spend a lot of time with people that were negative and that did not have aspirations. It's one thing to be an acquaintance with someone. It's another thing when you choose someone like that to be your friend and be one of the people you spend most of your time with. Because a lot of times what happens is when you have those, kind of negative influences in your story or around you, you can find yourself, even when you have good intentions, you can find yourself moving in a totally different direction. Because of the people around you. So I was mindful of it. The lessons I've learned from, my pastor, Dr. D.J. Williams was my uncle Kenny, my grandfather, Papa, David Glover. I mean, I use it all the time because I had examples of men, that were, responsible and accountable and professional and caring and loving. Those are the things that have shaped, my understanding of manhood, but also give me a clear responsibility. The movie of your life is only as good as the people that you allow to play roles in it.